Everyone keeps saying that the US has $36 trillion in debt and that the dollar is about to collapse. Sounds scary, right? But here's the real question. Is having a large national debt actually a bad thing? And how can a country owe trillions and still live better than almost anyone else? Let's start with the basics. National debt is not a hole in the budget. It's essentially borrowing based on trust. The government issues bonds, basically IOUs, and investors buy them because they trust that the US will pay the money back and add interest on top. And the higher the trust, the more willingly the world lends money to the US. Here's the paradox. The more the US owes, the more people are willing to lend to it. Why? Because the dollar isn't just a currency. It functions as the backbone of the global financial system. Many people think the US is living off money borrowed from other countries, but in reality, most of the debt is internal. Around 70% of US bonds are owned by Americans themselves, banks, pension funds, insurance companies, and even regular investors. So it becomes a closed loop. The government borrows money from its own citizens, spends it, and then pays it back to those same citizens with interest. What's interesting is that a similar system exists in other countries too. Take China, for example. China sells goods for dollars and accumulates huge reserves. But you can't just store trillions in cash. Inflation would eat it away. So those dollars get invested back into US bonds. That creates another loop. The US issues dollars and buys Chinese goods. China uses those dollars to buy US government debt. Then the US uses borrowed money again to buy goods. This system works not because the US is endlessly rich, but because there is global trust in the dollar. And as long as the world trusts the US economy, this cycle can continue, even if the debt grows much larger.